Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. It's your boy Luis Portelles, and for today's video, this is going to be my full recap, reaction, kind of spilling the tea of everything about Miss Earth 2022. I know that I promised you guys this video a while ago, but to be honest, I didn't really know how to approach the video. I didn't want to make just like a reaction video to Miss Earth because I was there, so I already witnessed the entire thing. But rather, I wanted to create a video that will give you some insight into my experience. And what better way to do that than by actually asking you, what do you want to know? So just a few days ago, I posted a sticker on my Instagram stories asking you, to send me any questions that you might have about my Miss Earth experience. And today on this video, I will be sharing all of those answers with you. By the way, if by the end of the video there's something that I did not answer and you still want to know, just leave it in the comment section down below and I will be paying attention to the comments so that I can answer all of your concerns as well. Okay, so without further ado, if you enjoyed the video, you already know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys right after the intro.
Be strong.
Alright, so let's get right into it, and for the purpose of this video, to make it a little bit more entertaining, I'm gonna try to go from more general topics towards more specific, and I'm also going to spill some tea about the behind the scenes of the entire thing. The first question comes from Magnetic John, and he's asking me everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I will tell you that overall, I had a very positive experience when it comes to the Coronation Night of Miss Earth. For those of you who don't know or didn't notice, I was actually sitting first row in the middle of the entire venue, so I had arguably the best seat in the entire house. A lot of you guys actually tagged me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, because whenever they were presenting the judges, every time the camera will film the judges, I would appear in the background. So a lot of you guys got to see me during the coronation live, and I think that even they cut at some point during the coronation moment when they were just about to crown the winner, and you saw me as well in the background. So I really cannot complain for this being my first major international pageant. I really had a blast and definitely a privileged seating. The next question asked, what do you think about the opening? I know that there was a lot of talk about the opening number of Miss Earth 2022, especially because it was just all over the place. There was a lot of dancing. There were moments where Destiny was on stage with some dancers from G-Force, by the way. Shout out to G-Force. I love them. As well as some of the girls coming out in their costumes. And in a way, it was very chaotic, but personally, I really enjoyed it. First of all, what I will say is you really cannot compare the experience of being there and witnessing everything in front of you to what you get in front of the television or if you're watching it on YouTube. The sound was really loud, was very crisp, and you could definitely feel so much energy in the room. I know that a lot of people complained about the fact that the girls didn't look very cohesive in the sense that they didn't have like a uniform or a sponsor for the gowns in the opening ceremony. But for me personally, this was an intentional choice because when you think about the entire concept behind Miss Earth this year, Miss Earth Loves Fauna, I think that they really wanted to showcase diversity and uniqueness, and one way to do that is by really allowing the girls to express whatever they want to express about nature, about the fauna, through their national costumes or whatever garments that they decide to wear for the opening number. It was really amazing because some moments you could see that they were choreographed, so everyone knew what they had to do, but some moments were really just individual moments for the girls. Some of them were like jumping on stage, some of them were like dancing, some of them were, doing all sort of things that if you were there, you will find it very entertaining. So for me, the opening number was a home run. Destiny looked amazing. She looked like she was having fun. In the beginning, I was a little worried for her because I don't know if you guys got to see, but she was wearing like really high heels and she was trying to dance, but she managed like a pro. And of course, the rest of the night is now history. Cedric Manalo is asking number of attendees and how much were the tickets? Okay, so here's the thing, and this is a misconception about the Coronation Night. Yes, there were tickets for sale. The price points, I believe, were 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, and 10,000 Filipino pesos. Okay, so these were the prices that the audience could get. However, there was no general seating when it comes to the venue. For those of you who follow closely the pageant, you will know that this took place at Okara, Manila, more precisely in this section that is called the Cove. Miss Earth had a really large stage on the ground. There was a section for the judges, and right after that there was a section, it was the VIP section, where this is where I was sitting. This section was really reserved for national directors, sponsors, family members, and people who managed to actually get their hands on VIP tickets. Right behind that, there was a section for the media. This is where all the pageant bloggers, where all the pages, where all the admins were sitting, the traditional media, journalists, you name it. Everyone was back there. But other than that, there wasn't really any general audience. Everything else was virtual, so most people were just watching online. Why? I have no idea. I think it might have been just a space thing, but I still don't know up until this moment what happened precisely, because I know for a fact that tickets were on sale for general audiences, so maybe Miss Earth decided to change plans last minute. This is actually one of the things that I have to reveal, because when I got to the Philippines, a lot of people were asking me, Luis, are you going to be a judge at Miss Earth? And the answer was no. I was never asked to be a judge. Actually, I applied for a media pass for Miss Earth. And to be honest, when I got here, I had a rocky experience in the beginning, because I was going back and forth with the person who initially said yes to the pass, and the person was not really getting back to me. So this was just one day before the coronation night, and I still did not have my media pass. However, my friend Tita Lavinia from Titas of Pageantry, she got me in touch with the good people of Pro Media, who actually were working with one of the candidates that was competing that night, and they were also, I believe, sponsors for the show, so they had some seats in the VIP area. This is how I got to access the seats and be part of the front row, pretty much. So it was in a way a coincidence, maybe it was just meant to happen, but you know what, I'm really happy about it, because this was my first pageant experience, international major pageant, so you know what, I was front row in the middle. Thank you, Pro Media. I will forever be grateful. I remember that for the person who was helping me coordinate the media pass, I literally sent her a message in the morning, and I was like, look, if you cannot grant me a media pass, that is okay, but just let me know, because I need to buy tickets. Like, if you're just not getting back to me, I'm just waiting here, and the pageant is quite literally tomorrow. But thankfully, God had other plans for me, and at the end of the day, I think that I had way better of an experience by going with the people of Pro Media than if I would have been in the section for the press pass. Next question is asking, what did you think about Cuba not placing higher? Of course, I was really upset. I was a little heartbroken when I saw that Cuba did not crack the top 8. For those of you who followed me, you knew that I was really close to her in terms of like how much I believed in her preparation, and even for my final picks, I predicted her to be my number 1, my winner. So when I saw that she didn't make the top 8, I was very disappointed. However, this is what I'm going to say, okay? Shayla had such a stellar performance during the coronation night that I personally wouldn't change anything about it. And sometimes when a situation like this happens that is really outside of your hands, outside of your control, there's really no purpose in me getting upset and throwing a rant or whatever. I'm proud of what she did. I'm proud of how she represented us, and I wouldn't change a thing about the performance. So ultimately, I think that she did what she had to do. And she also managed to make history for Cuba. This is the first time in the history of Miss Earth that Cuba has placed so high since the beginning. So, one step at a time, we are getting there, we're getting closer. I feel like Cuba, slowly but surely, is getting more recognition internationally. We already had a Miss Grand winner, we already had a Mr. Supranational winner, and now we are starting to place at Miss Earth. So it's all good. Of course, I would have wanted a little bit more, but you know what? We gotta take what we get. I'm actually getting quite a few questions about the pageant being fair, or even the decision of the judges. What did I think about the outcome of the entire thing? And to be honest, from the perspective of someone who was sitting there in the crowd and experiencing the entire thing in real time, I was very happy with the outcome of the pageant. I thought that everyone did an incredible job. All of the girls who made the final top 4 were really deserving. There wasn't really one that I was like, what? Why is she there? How come she got there? In terms of performance, I think that all of them excelled. Not a single one of them let me down. Even during the Q&A, I already made a reaction video to the Q&A segment of it. And you know that I didn't necessarily agree with every single one of them, or I didn't give praise to all of them for the Q&A. However, when you looked at the performance all throughout the night, every single one of them managed to stand out for a good reason. I know that some people were talking about Korea, but Korea had this it factor on stage. Whenever you looked at her, you know that there was something very unique, very special, that it was very, very hard to find in other girls. And another thing that I would like to add, because some of the people who don't like Miss Earth as a pageant or as an organization, especially the online trolls, a comment that I often see is that the girls who go to Miss Earth are not as beautiful as some of the other international pageants. I'm going to stop you right there. These women were gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. So beautiful. Sometimes because we get to see them doing so many different things, we get to see them working in the fields and planting trees and meeting people and Miss Earth is not necessarily just about the glamour and the makeup and the hairstyle and just being pretty. It's really about putting in the work, the advocacy, and making sure that you're having an impact in your communities and uplifting people around you, inspiring them. So I think that sometimes we don't focus as much on the beauty, but God, when I saw these women on stage in their swimsuit presentations, when I saw them on stage in their evening gowns, for a moment I was questioning my sexuality. I was like, Luis, are you trying to switch sides now? But truthfully, if I see any comments, anyone saying that the Miss Earth girls are not as beautiful, I will grab my chinelas and you are going to learn, because let me tell you, I was there, I saw it firsthand. They are gorgeous. Someone is asking me here for some hot tea, a blind item. So what can I tell you? Okay, there wasn't really a lot of drama, but some people were having some conspiracy theories online. They were tagging me on things saying that I didn't like some of the winners because I didn't post a photo with Miss Korea or Miss Colombia. And I'm going to stop you right there once again. Okay, so picture this. The coronation night is over, the live stream is over, all of the media goes on stage to surround the winners and take photos and interviews and videos and all of those things. Meanwhile, there's me on the side just trying to even get a peek of, just trying to even get a little glimpse of the winners. So in the meantime, what I told myself, you know what, I actually interviewed a few of the girls here on the channel. I had Miss Cuba, I had Miss Puerto Rico, I had Miss USA, I had Miss Philippines. So while everyone is with the winners, I'm gonna go take a photo with some of the girls that I actually interviewed on the channel, because I have a close bond with them. So I went and found Cuba, took a photo with her, went and found Philippines, took a photo with her, found USA, took a photo with her. I didn't get to see Miss Puerto Rico, unfortunately. She was backstage, or I don't know if she went already to change at the hotel, but I didn't get to see her. Right after the coronation, there was an event, an after party, which I was invited to, and all of the 4 winners were gonna be there. So I got to the after party. The first person that I see is Miss Australia. I actually knew people within her team because she is the one that was working with ProMedia and they're the ones who brought me. So of course, they introduced us. I got to talk to her. She was lovely. We took a photo. It was really, really a memorable moment. Right after that, I saw Miss Palestine. So I went up to her, talked to her, took a photo. She was lovely. And who do I see at the end of the room? Is our reigning Miss Earth. She was surrounded by so many people and people were taking photos of her non-stop. I heard her say a few times that she was not feeling well. To be honest, she was looking even a little bit frail. She was trying to hold on to people, to walk around, to move. So I don't know if it was, maybe how tired she was, all the preparation, the girls after a coronation, after an entire pageant, they are exhausted. And I just felt kind of sorry because so many people were trying to get a piece of her that I didn't really want to add anything to that. She was expressing how sick she was, yet trying to make everyone as happy as possible. I was not gonna be the one who was gonna keep her, waiting even longer just for a selfie. I'm not that type of person. I also saw at the end of the room, Miss Colombia. She was sitting down, she was actually eating. So I didn't think that it was appropriate for me to approach her while she was having a meal after such a long night. So I told myself I'll have time to meet her later. Unfortunately, I think that she left right after that, so I didn't get to see Miss Colombia. Same thing happened with Miss Korea. I believe that after she ended taking all of the photos, she really went back to the hotel because of just how she was feeling overall. So there's no drama, guys. I really like everyone. If there is a candidate that I didn't take a photo with, it is legitimately because I did not see the girl. I did not get to talk to them or anything like that. So, for people who coming up with theories and like, Luis don't like this, Luis is being shady, or there's none of that, okay? Okay. Next question is asking if I can tell about the atmosphere in the venue. Was it great? Well, the atmosphere was really mind-blowing, unlike anything that I have ever experienced before. Keep in mind, there was no general audience, so it was not like a huge group of people. However, the sound quality was really amazing. And the people who were actually there sitting in front of and the people who were actually there sitting behind the judges were really passionate about the candidates. As I said, these were the national directors, some of the family members, some of the team members. So of course, these are the people who care the most about the candidates. So in my experience, the energy, the vibe within the venue was really, really infectious. I enjoyed it to the fullest and I wouldn't change a thing about it. Can I talk about some of the inside backstories with the national directors? Actually, of course, I didn't get to meet as many national directors as I would have liked to meet, but I did get to meet Joe from Puerto Rico, and he was lovely. We've been friends for quite some time, so it was nice, you know, catching up with him. One of the funny things about national directors, it was the team for Colombia, because Colombia were just so confident that she was going to win the Miss Earth crown, and to be fair, she was delivering an exceptional performance all throughout the night. I think that the only point where Miss Colombia had a little bit of a misstep was during the Q&A. But Team Colombia was being extremely loud. There were flags and banners and they were yelling and they were screaming, all in a very positive and respectful way, of course. So I'm not complaining about them by any means. But when Colombia was called as one of the elemental queens, of course you could feel that they were sad, but simultaneously the national director was trying to calm everyone and just tell them, you know, she is our Miss Earth. She is our Miss Earth no matter what. That is our Miss Earth. So I thought that it was a beautiful way of embracing what happened. Because once again, if you go back even to some of the fun predictions, Miss Colombia was always like top 1 or top 2. She wasn't any lower than that on anyone's list. So I thought that it was beautiful and uplifting that although they didn't get the crown that they wanted, they still managed to embrace their girl and see her as a winner. As a matter of fact, I think that now Colombia has completed, they now hold all of the elemental crowns at Miss Earth. They just still have to win a Miss Earth crown to complete the entire roster of crowns. So congratulations to Colombia. Who do you think should have placed within the top 20? Okay, so this is a little bit shocking, but for me, not seeing Venezuela in the top 20 was, you know, a little bit controversial because, you know, even myself, I talked about her and I said that there was something off with the styling. I wasn't quite sure with some of the decisions that were being made, but I still believe that she had enough, you know, substance and beauty to make it to the top 20. I was a little surprised to not see Indonesia make the top 20 as well. I was also surprised to not see Indonesia make the top 20. I think that Karina was so beautiful. And honestly, she was one of the girls that I actually got to see towards the end of the night. She was already leaving the venue. When I saw her, we crossed paths and I just, you know, had a little moment to say hello. But of course, she was already leaving, so I didn't want to ask for a photo or like take some of her time. She was going back to the hotel. But I thought that she deserved a spot, of course. Who else? I think that Vietnam deserved the spot. She was very beautiful, very consistent. I loved so many of her outfits. USA deserved a spot as well, my girl Brielle. Mexico deserved a spot as well. But you know, at the end of the day, I truly believe that this was a really strong year for Miss Earth girls. Like the caliber of girls that they had. And I'm going to say some of the girls that cracked the top 20, even the top 12, that I personally did not see them making it initially, you could really tell that they stepped it up for the Coronation Night. Their styling was perfect. The performance was effortless. Someone who really surprised me during the Coronation Night was Brazil. Wow, she was a goddess on stage. Netherlands, so incredible. Belgium, Zimbabwe, goddess. So of course there are surprises, especially for countries with a strong sash factor that we every year expect them to do well. But realistically, sometimes even sash factor countries will not place, and even themselves they have to be careful and prepare well for the competition to avoid this type of situations. Next question says, are you going to work with the Miss Earth organization in the future? Well, To be honest, I don't have any plans as of right now to work with the Miss Earth organization. However, what I will say is that I am in really good terms with the organization. I really like what they do. I really like what they stand for. But I guess that a lot of people really attach me to Miss Earth because of how much I've been vocal about them, how much I have defended them. But it's not like I am friends and close to people from within the organization. Do you remember those videos like Meet the Delegates? They actually asked me to host one of those events, one of those videos online. However, they really asked me last minute and it just didn't end up happening. But even for people who believed that I was going to be one of the judges, I was never asked to be a judge. I applied myself for a media pass. And to be honest, even if I didn't get a media pass, I would have purchased a ticket myself, because one of the reasons why I came to the Philippines, of course, it was to experience Miss Earth. I wanted to not only support the pageant, but I wanted to meet the girls. I wanted to just be there and know what it's like. You know, we hear so many different things about Miss Earth and what they stand for, and that, you know, it's a virtual pageant and Miss Zoom and all of the things that the shows come up with. But truthfully, just being there on the spot, living the experience, you can tell that this is a major pageant. That is the feeling that I had. This is something major, something big is happening tonight, and the lives of some of the girls on stage are gonna change forever. That's how I truly felt by the end of the pageant. And the last question that I'm going to take is asking me if I will come back for Miss Earth. Truthfully, I had such a good, positive experience, minus the entire press pass last minute thing, that of course I would love to do it again. Realistically, would I be able to do it next year? I don't know, because I don't know where I'll be. I don't know where what I'll be doing for work, what the flexibility is going to look like. And of course, you guys, coming to Asia all the way from Canada is very expensive. I paid for everything myself. I am not sponsored by anyone. People think that I have a partnership with a company or whatever. I don't. This is all coming out of my savings, out of my own pockets, and I took time off from work to come here and make it happen. But if I had the opportunity, by all means, I will come back and do it again. You know, I truly felt like this year, Miss Earth was making an effort to upgrade the entire production thing, to give a better experience visually to the fans. And I feel like next year, which is going to be held in Vietnam, is going to be even better, because we know that Vietnam is really recognized for their production values and how much they invest into pageants. So I'm expecting a really, really glossy experience next year for Miss Earth. I believe that they also announced that the year after that is going to be Thailand. So Thailand is another powerhouse in pageantry at this point, undeniable, and also really, really strong in terms of production. So I think that the future is looking really, really bright for Miss Earth. I'm excited, and of course I want to relive it again every year if possible. Now, those were the questions that I wanted to answer during this video. If you have anything else that you would like to know, leave it in the comment section down below. I will be reading and, you know, answering as many comments as I possibly can. In the meantime, also thank you guys for joining me, for watching until the end. Don't forget to follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, all of those good things. And until I see you next time, everyone, please stay safe, be kind to one another, send you all my love, all my kisses, and I'll see you on the next one.